Hello and welcome back to another OMNIHEROES video. Today in this video we're just going to talk about the unit Dorabella, the Ethereal Valkyrie. Now, Dorabella is probably the reason that a lot of us joined up, mainly because of certain assets that she does have. I'm not talking about the exclusive rune. There are some skins available for Dorabella, increasing her speed, attack and defense as well when you do have it equipped, but I don't have a copy of it, unfortunately. I've been saving up and about 40 days off being able to acquire the skin from the shop. So let's just go through what Dorabella can do. So the first one, Arcane Thunder. Dorabella summons lightning to strike down over a large area, dealing 375% magic damage to all enemies and applies 1 stack of defense reduction. Casting round 2, cooldown is 3 rounds, reduces defense by 5%. So it applies the 1 stack of defense reduction to all enemies, which is very handy, especially if you're trying to build that up over time. Now, the second attack that she'll do is Dorabella concentrates her magic and releases energy missiles at 2 enemy units, dealing up to 135% magic damage and applies 1 stack of defense reduction. So you've got your 2 stacks of defense reduction on her ultimate and on her secondary. The next, so the first passive that she has, so when Dorabella is deployed, she has a 25% chance to start a sync attack after an ally lands a critical hit, and she applies 1 stack of defense reduction. Every 1% in crit rate additionally increases her attack by 1%. Now this is effective if you are on a Dormbringer's team because of the synergy here. So each basic attack has a 50% chance to initiate a combo, and then Dorabella will follow up as well with her own passive attack. And the final passive is every increase in crit rate additionally increases attack by 1%. And then the Oath Force is attack 10%, HP 10%, and defense 10%. The talents for her increases crit rate by 15 and crit rate by 30% respectively if you have an epic or a legendary talent, and increases control resistance rate by 30% or 15% if you've got it at epic. So that plays into this second part of the passive here. Every 1% in crit rate additionally increases attack by 1%, so it's an additional 30% attack if you have her talents up to the legendary status. Now I have Dorabella's exclusive runes, and the reason for that is because she is very useful in a lot of different modes, and I'll show you that in a second. But the rune skill, the exclusive rune skill, each time Dorabella deals damage to an enemy, the target loses an additional 1% of their max HP up to own attack times 5. And then if you do have the legendary, which you want to evolve into over time, each time Dorabella deals damage to an enemy, loses an additional 1% of max HP up to own attack times 10. So it's all based on her own attack and how much damage she can potentially do. So if you do have the red exclusives, she'll be doing 2% of, say, a boss's HP. So that comes in handy over here in the Celestial Trials, as well as in the Forgotten Land, specifically the Crystal Woods. I can't show you that today, unfortunately, but in the Crystal Woods the enemy has effectively damage reduction given by the minions that this boss brings along with it, but Dorabella just cuts through the enemy's HP every time she attacks. So the most efficient setup for Dorabella would be to have multiple Dormbringers synergies, as well as multiple Ethereals synergies as well. So we're just going to jump into some gameplay for her, and we'll see where we get up to. So I'm just going to scroll down. So the first one we want to do is Dormbringers. Well, the first one we want to do is Ethereals. So the Ethereal setup that I would primarily put Dorabella on would be Dorabella herself. I would probably go Atrops and then Katrina, Karnak, and potentially Eeal as well. So this was the backline that I had through the majority of the mid game. So early game to mid game. These three in combination, so Katrina, Dorabella, and Eeal, absolutely spot on. So Eeal does big damage as a follow-up to Katrina and Dorabella, and we'll just see how effective this setup can be. So let's in fact choose the sword. Let's pop in Excalibur, and then we'll put in the Eeal as well. I'm just going to switch around Karnak and Katrina for this setup. The reason for that is my Katrina typically is a better tank than Karnak. Karnak is kind of like a glass cannon. But we'll see how well this goes, and we'll just see how effective Dorabella can be. So here you see you've got the Dormbringer synergy as well as the Ethereal synergy kicking in. For me, it's really, really powerful. So you can see there getting crits already, and the combos kicking in. So hopefully a silence. Yes. Sometimes that Solomon can just be an absolute nightmare when he taunts all of the units that you want to do big attacks. So Confuse been applied, unfortunately not to Dorabella. So we'll see Karnak trigger first, no crit there unfortunately. Hopefully we will see a crit from Dorabella, lots of crits. So she works very well with Karnak and with Katrina as well, just because of the crit that she will inevitably do, because she's got quite a high crit chance, especially with the legendary talents that she's got. So Katrina following up with some massive damage, and then Dorabella following up. As you can see, it was a combo attack because Katrina got those hits. And we'll see if this same thing happens with Eeal. No, unfortunately not. So we didn't get the follow-up chance with Eeal. I'm not too sure if it does proc multiple times a turn. I believe it does, which is how you're able to beat a lot of the bosses. But we'll just see. So Karnak getting the execution there, and then Dorabella following up with a crit, and then her own attack as well. So lots of healing going on, lots of shield regeneration as well, which is vital to the success of the Ethereal teams, just because they are not very tanky as a unit, which is why the 10% defense and 10% damage reduction gets applied with the relics on. So yeah, a good showing from Dorabella there, doing a lot of damage over time. So we'll go into the Dormbringer synergy, and we could use the same team, but it's not the purpose of the showcase. So we'll see who else we can bring along. Go into Monarchs. Unfortunately, there's not really a good Monarch besides Portia. So Portia I've not really invested too much into, just because I'm not really a fan of what she does, especially because Karnak. So Portia as a unit, she's very good. I won't level her up at the moment. She's very good if you can get this. So when Portia receives healing, the excess healing of 2% will be converted into attack. The total converted amount cannot exceed 40% of her own attack. So really, if Karnak's healing was an active healing effect, Portia would be much better. But because Karnak's healing is not an active healing effect, it doesn't really work out too well. So Dorabella here in the centre, and we shall see how this one goes. So we've got 4 Dormbringers, 2 Protectors, and then the Monarch synergy between Dorabella and Portia as well. Now the Dormbringer synergy can be quite effective if your team does rely on attacking. So Dorabella doing a combo attack there. You should see a bit more damage and a bit more crit, specifically given that we've got Portia on the team as well. So there's a crit from Karnak and a follow-up attack from Dorabella. That's her combo triggering off. So no crits at all from Portia, unfortunately. Oh, so it does count as active healing. Sorry, my apologies. I've just seen when she gets healed, the active healing effect get put onto... sorry, Portia's active healing effect does go up. But I don't think it's going to be enough for us to really pop off. But I can see that she is increasing her own attack every time she's healed. And again, we'll increase it there as well. So the execution from Karnak, no follow-up from Dorabella. And when she does, she also does the 1% health as well, which is really useful. Like I said, especially against boss missions. So you do want to prioritize her if you do want to progress through all of the boss stages. So hopefully we'll see some big damage here. A lot of crits and a lot more crits as well here. Katrina also following up. And we should see effectively a total wipeout from Karnak next turn, because he attacks 4 enemies. And all of them seem to be below 30% HP. So yeah, absolutely love that ability. It's one of the best investments that I've done within this game as well. So we just go and check the stats. So she's not doing as much damage as Katrina or Karnak, but she is doing a fair amount of damage as well. But apparently didn't take any damage during that last round. And the last one would be the Monarch synergy. So let's do a completely different team. We will go for Monarchs, and we're going to do a Glorians Monarch build, and we'll put Marcia in here, and then we will pop in Nawi as well. We stick Nawi up here, swap these two around. So there's no Dormbringer synergy, no Ethereal synergy, only the Monarch synergy. Now, Monarch synergy, for what it's worth, I personally think it's the best synergy in the game. So if you do have 5 ally units will not take damage exceeding 30% of their max HP in a single instance of damage, and every 1% of HP the target loses increases damage boost by an additional 2% up to 100%. So if you're below 50% HP, you're going to get an additional 50% damage on whatever it is that or whatever unit you are using. So let's go with Lantern, Shield, and Hand of Tyr. And we'll just see how well this one goes. I suspect Nawi will take over on this one, and we won't see much damage from Dorabella. But with the Verdant synergy, it might be useful to follow up as well. So nothing special from Dorabella on this team. We've not even seen a follow-up yet, which is a shame. We do have the one attack from her here. So the shield from the twins. So follow-up, but no crit, unfortunately. Again, without being on the Ethereal's team, crit damage just doesn't really happen too often. And no stack, or no stun on this one, and not too much damage from Dorabella. So you can see she's prime placed within the Ethereal's team. And again, I think she's built just to do as much crit damage as possible, which is it's absolutely fantastic when you've built around that. But if you're not building around that, then it's she's not going to be anywhere near as effective. We're not going to see as high damage numbers as we have seen on the previous one as well. So now we hopefully cleaning up here, we might see an additional attack from Dorabella and see what damage she's putting out. So crit there, and then you can see the additional proc of damage. That's the 1% of enemy's health going down as well, which is why when she hits on her ult for all 5 enemies, she will be much better, or she takes off much more damage. So the double attack from Marcia there, and again not enough damage she's doing, unfortunately, but again it's because she's not we're not building around the crits, which is what she does rely on to do that massive damage. But that was Dorabella. She is a vital unit. You can buy her from the Merchants Guild over here. If we go into the guild shop, oh no, it's not the guild shop, it is the Ysgramil, or however you pronounce it, the YGG shop. She is available here, and she is the best unit that you can buy within this set of units here. There's not really many that come close, and again, if you go to the Valkyrie Manor, you go to Dorabella, if you go into story, you can get a free copy of Dorabella, I believe, in the Interactive Story 3. So that's another way to get her, and you will pull Dorabella quite frequently. But yeah, absolutely fantastic unit, really essential during early and mid game, and one to build around over the course of the game up to sort of late game, where she does sort of tail off in PvP. But that's it. Thanks for watching. If you've got any queries or any comments, just leave them below. If you do want to subscribe and like, would be greatly appreciated. I just want to say thanks for watching.